happiness is you. Clap along if you. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. Hope that you're good, hope you're great. Can I just ask everybody to, everybody that is not speaking today, just to unmute for now, please, so that we don't get any echoes coming here. I'm trying to mute everybody. Tembile, Stenzo, if you can try and mute for us. Okay, thank you. Fantastic. Yeah, so if everybody can just mute for us. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the wellness webinar. So super excited to have everybody in this platform tonight. You could be doing everything else, but you chose to be here. So it's going to be an incredible and amazing evening. Now, maybe just to introduce myself, my name is Gavin. For those who don't know me, I am the author of this amazing book. Yes, here, Gav's Financial Sermons, Ain't Nothing But a Financial Truth. I actually have declared this book is a wellness book. You know, I always say it's a personal finance book, but it's actually a wellness book. So today we're just gonna be talking about wellness. So what is wellness? I think a lot of us, you know, we get caught up in this whole jargon or words, and it becomes so big, and you say, but what exactly is wellness? You know, I normally say that wellness, it's a state of being, right? It's a state of being, but of course, state of being that has to do with so many things that are there. Guys, if I can ask everybody to mute, thank you so much. Cool, so that we don't get delayed there. So so it's a state of being. It's obviously encompasses so many things. That is why today we are talking about finance, we're talking about personal development, we are talking about mental health, you know, we are talking about finances. So all of these really, if you can check, they really do form part of really who we are. You know, they contribute in terms of who we are. So I'm so super excited this evening to also be joined by incredible guests that will be, you know, helping me throughout this whole process. So first and foremost, I'm going to introduce them, and then of course, just to tell us a little bit in terms of what they do before we get into the swing of things. And thank you so much to the family as well, the Financial Fast. I see that you guys are here in numbers, and really, really, really appreciate it, because after all of this started because of you, and we're just going to be able to run with it. So I'm just going to start with my sister, a dear sister of mine. They're all sisters, beautiful, by the way. But I'm going to start with my my first sister, which will be Sesinkateko. You know, she's really been an amazing sister to me with everything that I do. She really supports my financial ministry, and you know, whenever I call, she will always be coming through. So I like to introduce her, and then she can just tell us a little bit in terms of who she is and what does before we kick into the program of tonight. Sesinkateko. Oh, okay. You need to unmute.
Oh, yes. Sorry. I see that I was muted. Thank you very much, Butwamina. Imakaya Bushaka. I can hear you saying, sister. And by the way, I don't know if you know, my daughter, just like your daughter, is Neo.
Yeah,
so she was saying, but yeah, so she says, Mama, I thought you only have one brother. How come you have
Absolutely.
I also see that my other sister for Melanie is here, and I did not even tell the kids that their aunt is here, because then they will want to be on the video.
Absolutely.
So, and I will say something about her later on as we, you know, engage in the question. But I'm a psychologist, a counseling psychologist. I was in academia for 11 years. Still love academia a lot. There were many reasons, and which I shared with my accountability partner. Sorry for those who are not part of the Financial Fast, maybe you won't understand what is an accountability partner. I shared those reasons, how come I resigned from Tekis, you know, and yeah, so I was in that space, and as I'm saying, Prince, you can please mute yourself.
Prince, please mute yourself. Okay, cool. Sorry about that.
Sure. Thanks, Prince. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I still love the space in terms of, you know, just teaching a lot. I mean, that's my gift. That's my natural gift, the gift of teaching.
Yeah.
And but because the practice was growing as well, I decided to put my focus full time on the practice. So I am a managing director of Pretoria Psychologist, a dynamic fast-growing practice with a very wide reach, and now it's even reaching internationally.
Wait, are you done?
Okay.
Gaps?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can mute yourself.
I'm
Yes.
saying for
Gavin, I'm trying to, guys, can you mute yourself?
Gavin, there is an option that you, as a host, you can mute everybody and only unmute people. So you, yeah, I think there's an option that you as a host, you can have the option where everybody's muted and then you are the only one who can unmute people.
Well, I'm using this laptop,
Sure.
Apple, what do I take?
Sure.
But yeah, sorry about that. You can proceed on that. Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, yeah. If maybe you can make me a co-host, I can also help you with that administration of muting and unmuting. You can add me as a co-host, and then I will help with that. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So and yeah, as I'm saying, we have a very wide reach as the practice, even internationally. I think a week does not pass by where I'm not in China or Austria or New York or any part of Singapore, any part of the world, which I think for me, it excites me, and it excites me that we've got the technology to back that up. So that's me in a nutshell. I can go long, but I'm going to keep it here.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. As you can see, we have born, MacGyvers of psychology. So today we're going to have incredible time. And the next sister of mine is also Mapielo. We just want to welcome you. She is the steering of personal development. Does amazing things, but of course, I won't take that away from her. She will then introduce herself in terms of what she does. And yeah, Zazi, say there, Sis Mapielo, so that you tell us who you are and what you do.
Thank you so much for that, Gavin. Very humbled by your intro, calling me steering personal development. So I'm Mapielo Maria Kuno. I'm born and bred from the Vaal. I'm very passionate about the community of the Vaal Triangle. And I am a master personal development coach. So I fell in love with coaching about 8 years ago. I was introduced into the field, and I enjoy developing people. So I embarked on this journey. I am a fully qualified business executive coach, and it branches out into personal development, coaching, life coaching, etc. And I'm here to just unpack what coaching is about and what it can do for you from a wellness space. And I'm also eager to learn from my fellow guest speakers as well, and also from the participants at large.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Truly appreciated. And our last sister, you see, we are rolling with sisters this evening. Now that one is the Chuck Norris of personal finance. So I'm gonna Chuck Norris. Remember Chuck Norris, those movies? She is the Chuck Norris of personal finances and does amazing things in that space. But again, not to take out, in terms of what she does and who she is, she will then give us that. Sis Buele, welcome tonight. So honored for you to join us and be able to share your expertise. If you can zazisa yourself, in terms of who you are and what you do.
Mama, what is this?
Okay, all right, cool. Oh, you just need to unmute this, Wheeler.
Oh, okay. How are you guys?
We good.
No, I'm thankful. Thank you for the opportunity, and what an honor is it to be here. My name is Buile Saramashiane. I'm a financial coach and an entrepreneur. This sums up what I do. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I supply school uniforms. I sell perfumes. I do a whole lot of different things. And I am a financial coach above everything. I'm a financial wellness coach, and I help people manage their money. I help people have a relationship with their money, and I do the financial management workshops.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do the financial management workshops on site, and I do them online as well. The objective of our existence, which is BSM Financial Solutions, is to help people have a relationship with their money.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you so much, and welcome, everybody. As you can see, tonight we have a feast because we have everybody that definitely would be talking around the subject of wellness that we're going to be tackling on. Now, Susan Katek, I want to start with you because if you look at in terms of the past 2 years, with COVID and everything else, I mean, I still remember that day when our first family meeting was called. I won't say it by cupcake because it's our president, but when our president called that first the first state of emergency, everything was just, we didn't know what was going to go. Now you've been in the forefront as well, because obviously you've been dealing with a lot of people going through so many things. Now, firstly, before we even get there, how would you define what mental health is? Because I think that word in itself, it's very scary. We don't know what it is. So if you can define it from your perspective, what would you say mental health is?
Sure. And I also want to very much tonight demystify mental health or mental illness or pathology. And thank you, Gavin, for creating this platform that as we speak about finances, we also speak about mental health, because I think those two things are very much in line with each other. Sometimes the status of your finances are a reflection of your mental health, and vice versa. Or as we know, they say the best Prozac, by the way, it's an old antidepressant. So it's just putting money here. Then you will see the smile, ear to ear.
Yeah.
But so I want to say that we all suffer to some degree with mental illnesses. So that is where I want to start to demystify, ola wa hafa, or ola, ba moloile, or what's enwa, or, so I want to demystify. As I'm sitting here right now, there is an extent of mental illness that I am suffering, and the degree of it will be different from one person to another. So depending on the resources that I have to deal with my challenges, I will either be off balance or in balance, or, more balanced, if we were to put it that way. So the off balance will be where my challenges are much higher than my resources. So my, support structure, the way I dealt with challenges before, the knowledge that I have, all of that. And then the unbalance is when the challenges, they are met with the resources. Then it's I have the challenges, I've got the problems, but then I'm taking them head on because I have those resources to be able to deal with it. And then the unbalance will be where, I have more resources than the challenges. So this will also be a time where I am fueled up, I've got the reserves. I've got plenty of reserves so that when this time of challenges come, I can dip into the reserves. I can dip into the resources to be able to cope with those challenges. They are not overwhelming me. So other people, most of the time, when we then diagnose or when we treat, be it that we are admitting you in the clinic or the hospital, is when they do not have enough resources to deal with their challenges. So that is number one, where I want to start to say we all to some degree suffer with mental illnesses. So we cannot look at another person and say, why are you seeing a psychologist? Why are you seeing a doctor? Why are you taking antidepressants? Why are you having to go to gym or drink water to help yourself with your mental illness? So that is one. And then the second one also, we make a mistake to think that mental health has got to do with the absence, and that is why I started where I started, with the absence of pathology. It's not the case. You can still have pathology. So what that means is, be it bipolar, schizophrenia, depression, anxiety, the whole list that you get from our diagnostic manual, a narcissism, any kind of personality disorder, you can still have it. But where we are saying you are mentally healthy is be able to recognize that you have the challenge, and then be able to seek help to be able to cope better with what you are going through. So it's not the absence of pathology, it's not the absence of, anxiety, depression, bipolar, schizophrenia, narcissism, or any of the mental illnesses. It's you being able to say, I am suffering depression, I am suffering anxiety, but I am going to Nkateko to help me to cope, to give me tools, to support me, be it that I go once a month or I go twice a year, but to get that in check, because I know that I am suffering this and I need the support and the resources to be able to deal with what I am going through.
Wonderful. So I'm not the only one who feels that I'm off balance. So I'm glad that you really defined that and put it into order. Sis Buyile, now you deal with finances, right? So I like what Sis Nkateko was talking about, Guti. It's obviously it's not really only about the finances, but we know that finances play a critical role. And especially if you look at, again, going back to the past 2 years, where people lost jobs, when people got salary cuts, our expenses are getting more expensive by the day. Now, with regards to, from your side as a financial coach, what would you then say that, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 major challenges that people have really been battling with, especially for the past 2 years when it comes to finances? What have you picked up that people have really been battling with for the past 2 years?
Thank you for this question, Gavin. My realization through the consultations I do is the fact that people didn't have much savings. People didn't save a lot, and they overlooked savings, thinking that savings are overrated. Little do they understand that we will be facing an era where we will need more of our savings to help us through. Because most of the people, remember, they lost jobs, they experienced salary cuts. And what I have realized again is the fact that most of the people didn't take the basics of financial education into, they didn't take the financial education seriously, because most of the people purchased the financial products, but they didn't understand them. They didn't understand the benefits that came with with those financial products. For instance, we do have on the short-term loans and the long-term loans, we do have what we call credit life insurance, and most of the people didn't understand that they paying for it and what was the benefit of credit life insurance. Most of the people's valuables were repossessed And due to the fact that we do not understand what belongs to us, we did not educate ourselves enough when everything was just well. We all know that the credit life insurance simply means that if your salary is cut into half, or if you get into retrenched, the insurance will pay up your loan, or be it a short-term loan or a long-term loan. So most of the people came through to me and other people while it was extremely late, while the damage was done. So I realized that we did not invest much in the basics of financial knowledge. We did not invest much in the knowledge of the insurance products we bought, because there is what we call the payment holiday. And people didn't know that they could put their financial product on payment holiday, simply to put the payments on hold while their policies are active. So we overlooked the importance of savings. We overlooked the importance of financial education. So this is why I urge, and this is the reason for our existence, to educate our clients on the what do we call, on the financial products knowledge, and to ensure that they understand them. And moreover, we overlook the importance of investing again in the emergency funds. I don't know. We did invest in the emergency funds, or if we invested in the emergency funds, it simply means that we have limited the emergency funds to medical costs or tire bursts and little things like that. And we didn't think that the emergency funds are that important, that they have to sustain us. You have to build up your emergency funds, that they cover you for your 6 months living expenses. But now we know better, people know better, and we are educating ourselves. And I am so impressed at the level where people take financial education seriously.
No, thank you so much. And thank you to you, for providing that platform where you have, created an organization that can definitely help our people, and kudos to you. So, Mapiel, now, I'm going through stuff, but like COVID hit, like I don't have money. Hey, people, kids, Now, how do I even begin to think about personal development? And I say this because when, and I'm talking it from a perspective of a lot of women, right? A lot of women are going through stuff. You're a housewife, you're a career, like there's work, there's all of these things. Now you are tired when you come back home. When do you even begin to think about personal development? First of all, what exactly is personal development? Let's start there. What is personal development?
So Gavin, thank you so much for that question. Personal development is when a person aspires to improve themselves. It's all about improving yourself as an individual. So where we come in as personal development coaches, so there are different titles for different types of coaches, and there are different types of coaching processes that you can follow. But in essence, when you bring in a personal coach, is when you bring in a thinking partner. This is a coach who will sit with you and help you structure your thoughts and help you structure what is going on in your life. This is where you bring in an accountability partner. I heard one of our fellow guest speakers talking about accountability. So when you bring in a personal coach, you bring in someone who will help you with accountability with regards to the goals that you want to set and that you want to achieve for yourself. And then you're also bringing in someone who will help you think out loud and also reflect back your thoughts to you. And with a coach, when you have a coach, you have someone who will help you realize the behaviors that you have and challenge the behaviors that you have as an individual. And we find ourselves in situations where work is hectic, where work-life balance, you don't have that. And that's when you need a personal development coach. I find that us as Africans, we do not have access to that, or we haven't educated ourselves enough to find out who can assist me and who can help me with regards to journeys that we have. And you find that our white counterparts have exercised this for many, many years, where they have invested in a personal life coach or a financial coach or an executive coach, just to help them keep trained. It's like in a sports where you have someone in the sidelines directing you and helping you achieve those goals. So it's very critical to bring it in, more especially when you feel that you are overwhelmed with life. And what I figured with regards to coaching is that during COVID, we found that people suffered a loss. They suffered financial losses, and they needed someone to help them out of the rut of financial losses. And they suffered setbacks within relationships that they had built. Other people went into depression. Other people would have lost family. Other people would have lost friends. Other people would have lost the connection with colleagues. And we also found that people lacked resilience to bounce back. COVID put us in a situation where we didn't know where we were. And the importance of having a personal coach, they would help you put in the tools and the processes that would help you bounce back from tough situations. And they would help you build relationships or fix relationships, because sometimes we do not know the behavioral tendencies that we have that mess up our relationships. So as a coach, if you bring in someone with this expertise, you will be able to help facilitate your life much more better. So that's the importance that I see of coaching and having someone who will help you personally develop yourself.
And maybe just to go back a little bit in terms of what you spoke about with regards, especially from us as African, not utilizing, that space of getting a coach. Would you say that, what will be more, like if you had to maybe give me, let's say 2 or 3, like things why, excuses, if it's an excuse, or just in terms of reasons why we don't utilize coaches? Is it the lack of knowledge? Is it the lack of financial resources? What would it be? What would you say would be the challenge in terms of us African exercising that?
I think, Gavin, when I was doing my research, when I was going through the master's program, we figured that a lot of African people don't have the knowledge that there are coaches out there that can help them. Some of our African brothers and sisters only find out in the workspace that there is someone like an executive coach or a life coach or someone that can help me. We only know of your fitness coaches, your financial advisors or financial coaches, but we do not know that there are other levels to this coaching. And we often align coaching to psychology, and it's two totally different things, because coaches are the ones that unlock the answers that are within you, whereas with psychologists, they work through the process with you and help you get to resolve whatever mental issues you might be having problems with. That's the second. We don't have the knowledge. The financial resources, again, we tend to think coaching is expensive. We don't want to put our money to good use, or to it's like education. With education, you're willing to pay, but with coaches, you're like, per hour. Why is the rate so high? I really can't afford 1,500, for instance, as an example, per hour for a coach, because it won't be worthwhile, never seeing the end result. So we often put it as a financial issue. You have to spend in order to grow. That's the second issue. And then the time factor. We often say we don't have time. Life is so busy, we can't even make time because I'm busy with work, I'm busy with studies, I'm busy with my children, or I'm busy with something else. We can't seem to take an hour out of our lives that will improve us in the long run. So those are the top 3 things that we find in the coaching industry, that people say, I can't do coaching because of these 3.
Yeah. Okay. I think people have heard. I spend mine to make mine at the end of the day. So thank you so much about that. Yes,
Absolutely.
you wanted to add something?
Yes, and just to add on that, I think there is a stigma attached to it
Yeah.
because people think when you go to see a psychologist, then you are crazy or maybe you're mentally not well. And if you go to see a financial coach, then it means you are heavily indebted.
Yeah.
Whereas you have to have a financial coach, or maybe we go through the most. This month you are strong, and the next you come across something that hits you, and you need someone to talk to so that you can be mentally well, you know. And maybe sometimes someone might just come through and tell you words that you cannot handle. That is when you need to use the services of a psychologist. And it's important to allocate one psychologist for your family and for your personal use as well, because we constantly need to we need to consult and to talk to someone above everything.
Absolutely. No, I really love that. And I hope that, everybody that is here is really taking notes to say we need to invest in our well-being. For us to be whole, we need to be able to unfortunately spend time and spend money at the end of the day. Now, going back to, again, I'll be dwelling a lot on the past 2 years because we're still in that mess. We're still in a storm, so to speak, navigating through that. But you were, again, we are there in terms of I think give us the top 3. What will then be the top 3 things that you've picked up that have really come out now and again when it comes to mental health that people are really struggling with? What are we struggling with that we need to be sorting out?
Firstly, we're struggling with anxiety, and that anxiety also manifested it manifested itself in us going to the fridge 69 times in 1 hour. That's how our anxiety manifested during that initial phase of lockdown. Okay, I hear a cracking sound at the background.
It's fine now, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so during that phase where we thought we're gonna be locked down for 3 weeks and then it's gonna be over, so the first week, us as introverts were like in heaven, Jesus had taken us, like it was literally rapture for us as introverts. We were like, yo, Jesus has taken us to heaven. We don't have to see anybody. We have beautiful excuses not to meet anybody, not to socialize, and just be cocooned in our own shell.
Yeah.
And obviously, with all these uncertainties happening, people started growing anxious. And when we then had the announcement that the lockdown is going to be extended, and that is also at the time where I went into the fight mode and not the flight mode. So that was my response in the anxiety that I had. I had countless radio interviews in that time, but also that's when I birthed Monday Written with Pretoria Psychologists, which is a YouTube channel to deal with psychoeducation, educating people. And I think, as I said, I am used to being in a classroom space, and abruptly classes were stopped. We did not have contact with our students. I did not have contact with my clients. Initially, within that week, I think starting from the 3rd week, people started coming in droves to say, you know what, we are just going through the most. And so for me, it was that platform was to have a greater reach in mental health space, and that was also to address the psyche of the nation, or the psyche of the world, as we're looking, in February, as people were dying like ants in Italy, as we're looking in January, people dying like ants in China. So to say, let's not be paralyzed, because that's what anxiety can also do to you. Anxiety can often paralyze you to no action at all. And that's also when people become surprised to say, but I'm somebody who's active, I'm somebody who's a go-getter, I'm somebody who gets and creates opportunities. What's happening to me? But that's the paralysis of anxiety. And when people did not understand themselves, and as I said, we went to the fridge 69 times, what, to numb the discomfort, because food, you can control it. It does not speak back to you. You know, you can, it does not judge you. So, you know, we were able to do that because we can control that situation versus the uncontrolled situation. So that's number one. Number two is also depression, especially for extroverts, and because they were not in touch with their social environments, even though you are still maybe with your family or with your friends in a commune, but just having that world that you know, the norm, the life, like, you know, the other normal that we used to know, not the new normal, because I think now we are used to this is already normal now for us. So people went into depression. People did not also realize that they can access their mental health practitioner. You know, as you remember, there was an announcement, you know, to say healthcare workers we can still gallivant. You know, we could just put our sirens on and go up and down. So people were not aware that they can access their mental health practitioner. Or even the mental health practitioners were also inaccessible themselves because they were paralyzed and anxious to say, what if I go to the practice and then I catch COVID-19, and especially those who were not technologically apt. You know, for those who are technologically apt, we were able to adapt very quickly to say, let's meet online. And then the third one that I want to talk about, actually, I had a debate between the two, you know, the one being the post-traumatic stress disorder or the acute stress disorder. But I want to speak about this other one of grief. And as a result now of loss, as nations, not just a nation or not just as an individual, not just as a family, we started experiencing immense amounts of grief. And this grief was not only coming from a loss of a loved one physically, but a loss of things, of a series of things. You know, I said earlier on that I will speak about my sister. I'm not sure if she's still here. She was one of the people who lost their job. And as you know, I think those who are in the Financial Fast group, you know, it's now 3 years. And you know, that kind of loss can make you to go into stages of grief, the actual grieving a person. So we lost, yes, I can see you're still here. So we lost our jobs through retrenchment. We lost the ability to make the normal income that we are used to, especially for those of us who are hustlers. We lost the ability to socialize the way that we know how to. We lost the ability to comfort others who were grieving and mourning. So, which makes us to a secondary mourning that you are unable. I mean, we were unable to bury, I think it was 2 or 3 family members, and we had to look it up on the screen. But the reason why I am highlighting my sister Fumelan, who's here, is again that ability to bounce back that I was talking about. I think for me, she challenges me every day, but that, I think, it speaks to the resilience and her mental health status, because, you know, I look at her and I'm thinking, if it was me, you will have buried me, like, physically, not only emotionally, you know, but it speaks to the resources, the reservoir that she has been able to create. How, I don't know. Even though she's my sister, but I don't know. Yes, I know she's got a good support structure. That one I know, but, you know, what else is she resourcing from? And maybe, you know, I think it will be in one of the things that I speak about in terms of coping, but I think also, you know, prayer, hoping, faith, strengthening yourself in the Lord, gymming, and that support. So that is the main 3 that I want to highlight. It's anxiety, depression, and grief. And as I said, the grief, not only the physical, although the physical has also played a major role, but loss in lifestyle, in income, in job, because we identify ourselves a lot about what we do vocationally. The reason being, we spend more of our awake hours in the workspace than any other place. So when I come home, I only have about 2 or 3 hours before the kids sleep, before I sleep. By the time we are awake, we are gone. So the most hours that we spend awake is within our vocation. And you can imagine when that is not there, the kind of grief and the kind of loss that we will then experience. So that is the three. So meaning to say that if you still find yourself being depressed and anxious, don't think that you're an outlier. Don't think that there's something wrong with you not being able to come out of that state, where people will say you are over dramatic, why are some of us coping and you are not coping? No, you are an individual, and you have different sets of the ability to cope with different things.
Yeah, no, I think that is a mouthful as well. And guys, I hope that you are taking all of these notes from these amazing women, giving us, teaching us all these important things that is absolutely critical to touch. Then coming back to you now, right? So earlier on, you touched on the fact that people didn't know they have stuff, right? They didn't know, like they have credit life and all of these things. Now, going forward, because again, now we want to rectify things. How would you advise people now to deal with these things? How do we get to know about all of these credit lives? What should one do, right, to be able to rectify all of these things that have happened in the past 2 years, particularly, that has then highlighted all these challenges that we find ourselves in? Okay, you need to unmute there.
All right then.
Yeah.
Yes. First things first, we're talking about the basics. We need to educate ourselves financially. We need to attend relevant seminars. We need to change our circles if we haven't. Engage in circles where money is talked about. Engage in circles where people are not shy to talk about their financial mistakes, so you can learn from them. And another thing is we have to invest in going through our contracts. Mm-hmm. Whatever financial product that you buy comes with a contract, especially in the long term, even in the short term insurance industry. By long term, I refer to your life plans, your funeral plans, your long-term investment plans. I'm referring to your retirement plans. Whatever financial product you sign up for, please invest your 2 hours in the financial contract, and read it through, understand it. If you don't understand, call your intermediary or maybe go back to the branch and want to understand everything that is said there, including that jargon. If you take out credit, don't just sign your contract just to get over it. I want to understand each and every page before you put your signature there. Want to understand what does credit life insurance mean? What does this mean? Okay, if I find myself in the state, will it help? And moreover, we have to learn again to audit our bank statements. Yeah. Auditing your bank statement will help you with finding the smaller amounts that are deducted by the scammers. The amounts that are 99 rands and less, they do not give you notifications on your phone. And you find that let's say for argument's sake, you contributing 95 rands. And if you were to take that 95 rands that you don't know and put it into savings, it would give you more than 1,000 rands in a year. And in the same way, you would be able to channel that into buying a stationery for the new year, or maybe buying uniform, or maybe reinvesting that money. Who knows? So it's basic stuff. We're not talking about big things. Basic stuff, things that we are supposed to be aware of. And above everything, understanding our financial products, understanding our short-term insurance products. The insurance product that you take out with your MyWays. We are allowed to talk about the brand names because we are not on TV or radio. So the insurance products that you take out with your MyWays, you know what? Just understand that you understand each and everything, because I have realized with most of my clients that it happened even before the pandemic kicked in.
Yes.
Most of the people do not understand the insurance products, especially when it comes to short term. They don't understand if they're taking 50% towards covering the value of their car, 75% or 100%. So sit in, and in most cases, you won't know about these things. So you have people like us at your disposal. We will be able to explain everything. And then by investing in people like us, you will be able to save for a very long time, and you will be able to be educated for a very long time. So it is things like that that can save us money, and that can save us from the financial mistakes that we are to do.
Yeah, and I just want you to break down for all of us this week. What is the difference between savings and investment? Is that the same thing? Is not the same thing? What's the difference, if there is a difference there?
Yeah, there is a huge difference between savings and investments. Savings are short-term orientated, whereas long-term investments are long-term orientated. With long-term products, I will just mention a few, like I did mention. We're talking about your property investment, which is your first love. And we're talking about saving, investing for retirement. And we're talking about investing for long-term. And what I like to say in most cases is your investment has to have a goal attached to it. Same goes for with savings. Have goals attached to your investment that will help you with resilience. That's number one, and that will help you stay disciplined, because we are wired in such a way that we believe that money belongs to a certain group of people, not us. And we are wired in such a way that we believe that no, after a year of investment thing, I want my money. You won't get your money. If you want to opt to get off the investment contract within the first few years. So same applies to the investment, your property investment. And if I can mention, let's talk about savings for now. With savings, we are talking about the basics. I love talking about basics mainly because people think that saving has, for you to kickstart your savings journey, you've got to be a millionaire, or you got to have a certain amount of money. Savings start with your piggy bank savings. You save your bronze and you save your silver coins. You save your 5 rand coins. That is up in a massive way. That adds up in a massive way. And you can also save from your salary. And your savings portion has to go with first 5 debits that go off your salary every month. So I know we are not wired in a way that we were taught that savings are important. These are the things that we are educating ourselves on now. Hence, that is why it is so difficult for us to be as resilient We
Yes.
save, we fall off, we save, we start again, we fall off. But what I can tell all of the participants that are here, that if you are struggling to kickstart your savings journey, you are not alone. We all are.
Yeah.
We all are. The difference with us is we get up,
Yeah.
dust ourselves, and kickstart our savings journey, because we are in a era where money is needed.
Yeah.
And like my sister said, we were not ready for this for this era. We are not ready for this time. We were not ready financially and emotionally for this time. So we keep on digging into our savings. But what makes a difference with a resilient saver is the fact that you get up, forgive yourself, and start saving again.
Wow, I like that. Get up, forgive yourself, and start again. Hallelujah. We like that. I like that. Now, Ospiel, now we have talking about Mapiel, all these things, right? We're talking about our minds, we're talking about finances, and we're still now in this background border. I need to for myself. I need to, you get what I'm saying? I need to get the promotion. I need to just do the most in the next couple of months. Now, where do I begin? Well, apart from the fact that I need to get in touch with you, but what are the things that one can do now to start on their journey of personal development? What should they be doing?
Awesome. One tip from me, not even one, but it's one in many. You start by reflecting. You have to you take an audit of your life. You look back and you have to be open and honest with yourself. So this is sort of like a conversation. Maybe, Gavin, if I'm coaching you, I would ask you, Gavin, please just take account of your past life and how you've led it and how you've become the Gavin that you are. You take account of everything that you have gone through, all the challenges that you faced, and how you've overcome those challenges that you faced.
Yeah.
Because there you will find your underlying values, you will find your belief system, you will find what are your intrinsic motivators, what gets you started. You will also find what are the bad habits that you need to break. If you don't take account of your history, it's a bit difficult or challenging to move into a future. So I say, go through your story and own it. If you want to go into a goal setting mode, go through your story and own your story. And then when you find yourself in the what now, you have to ask yourself, okay, now that I know this information, what now? What is next? What is my next move? And make it simple. When you start setting your goals, bite size. What's a way to eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Because I know when we go into goal setting mode, we set these big exorbitant goals that are big, hairy, and scary, but we don't focus on the mini goals that will allow us to get to that goal. So focus on your what now, what is important for me now, and then you start breaking it down on how you're going to work at achieving what is important now. And I promise you, when you realize you're important now, it's easier for you to get to the next move. What's important next? What's important? It's a build-up. It's a build-up, and you'll see that you make more progress if you set smaller goals that allow you to achieve your bigger goal. It's like building a house. What do I need to start? Oh, the foundation. My goodness, what do I need to start building the foundation? The shovel. I need to just start digging. And then you put up your support structures, and then you start laying the bricks, you mix the cement. So it's a process. Everything in life is a process. So that is my advice for people who want to start setting their goals and start to achieve their goals. You start small, and one bite at a time, eventually you'll see yourself a totally different person from when you started. But remember, own your story, go through the lessons, and start. It's all about starting.
Absolutely. You need to start, guys. You need to start. So we are almost out of time. So what I'll do is that, of course, we'll just Obviously they get the guys to, or the beautiful ladies, to just give us in terms of what are the steps that we can also just take in terms of what we have spoken about, especially as we are still in that process where we are navigating through the storm, because I believe that we're still in the storm. We just need to get through it. And obviously we need the resources for us to then penetrate that. So what I'll also do is that, actually, let's do this. Is there anybody with a question before, we allow our speakers to, to give us, I think the last part in terms of what we need to be doing? Is there anybody with a question that wants to ask something that you're not clear about with regards what has been said? Anybody from the, okay. Do we have any questions that anybody has? Okay, so it seems like we don't have any questions then. So I hope that everybody's just clear in terms of what was covered. But yeah, I think then also got like a quick one in terms of, where to from here. This is Gavin. I've gone through the grief. I've everything, anxiety and all the stuff. I'm here. Where to from here? Like in the next couple of months, I need to be moving. I need to be, my life needs to change. What should I be doing going forward?
To me, always support is the major one. It's realizing that you are not alone. Sometimes it can feel like you're alone. I had a pity party, I think about 3 weeks ago. I was at a wedding, and then I found myself strangely in a wedding, beautiful as I am, having a pity party because I was feeling alone with the experience that I was having.
Yeah.
But then I thought, tomorrow morning I'm gonna WhatsApp my therapist and then speak over this with her and process this with her. Fortunately, she wanted to make an appointment with me for something else, and then I actually did process these feelings that I was having of that Saturday evening feeling alone. So sometimes it can feel like we are alone, but I really want to assure everybody that you are not alone. It could be that it's not a colleague that is listening, it's not a family member that is listening, it's not your partner that is listening, it's not your friend that is listening, but it's someone else in another space. And I think that's also a trap that we get into, to say, this person will be the one to support me, or that person will be the one to support me, only to find that they also do not have the resources to be able to support you. So,
yeah, I just want to go back there a little bit. You touched something nicely there. And before I get there, I think Beauty has a question. Sorry to cut you there. Oh, Beauty, you have a question that you wanted to touch on?
Hi, Gavin. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I just need to ask in terms of mental health. Like, are you referred by a doctor? When do you know? I don't know if they touch that. When do you know that you need help? And when you go to them, the mental practitioners, do they need a referral from a doctor if you are using a medical aid, or what happens from their experience?
Wonderful. Yeah. Osinkateko?
Most of the time, the mere question that you are asking, when do I need help? I think you are already needing that help if you are already questioning if I need help or not. Yeah. So I think we should not wait until things are extreme, where we are bent out, we cannot cope, we are under the covers the whole day. Yes, it happens that you get to that place. There's no judgment to that place. But also we need to be proactive and not let it go there, because there we say you are unable to cope. You might need to be on heavy medication to help with the, neurotransmitters, with the endorphins, with the serotonin. These are all feel-good hormones to help you artificially. We might need to admit you, which if you are a self-employed somebody like myself, thinking, every hour that you are in the clinic, you might even have more panic than when, you are elsewhere. So we need not let it go there. The other question that you asked was in relation to a medical aid. It depends on the kind of plan that you are on. I will give you an example. I am only on hospital cover currently. I used to have a nice cover because I was at the university and it was subsidized, it was comprehensive, but obviously we had to downgrade because of the circumstance that we are under. And the medical aid will not pay for my psychology visits. I pay cash. Unless I have certain diagnosis, where then they will pay, we call it PMB, prescribed minimum benefit. You remember your jabs were coming from PMB, from prescribed minimum benefit. So it's almost like a list of illnesses that the medical aid does not have a choice but to pay from the scheme benefit, whether you are whatever option that you are on in this world, in South Africa. So it depends on the cover that you have here. Some covers, depending on your diagnosis, they might need a referral from your doctor, but the easiest thing is just to call your medical aid and say, do you cover psychological services? Other covers, like the kind of cover that I was on before, it will deplete first the savings before it goes to the scheme benefit. The other covers are vice versa. I will advise everybody, and I think Mesara said we can talk about brands because we are not on TV. Yeah. I always sing hallelujah whenever I see a client on Bonitas.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because I know I will not have headaches as a mental health practitioner, but not to say that other medical aids don't pay me. They do pay me depending on the cover that you are on. You find that maybe they take from savings, and then once your savings are depleted, you have to come out of pocket. So yeah, that's dead. And then I don't know, Gavin, if I should still continue with that thought, or maybe we can leave it for another day because it's already late.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to touch on something very important that you said. You said you had to go and consult with your therapist. Now, I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm like, you are the Machuzu of psychology. Now, why would you go and consult somebody because already you know everything? How important is it that even though you might be good at what you do, how important is it that you get somebody as well that can also help you in that regard?
And it will be the same thing as a banker cannot say, I won't go to the bank because I'm a banker. Yeah. It will be the same thing as a doctor cannot say, let me cut myself and operate myself and I will do this surgery. I'm a heart surgeon, I'm a neurosurgeon, I'm a dentist, let me, do the braces on myself. It's not practical. Yeah. It is not practical. I have blind spots as an individual that I will not be able to formulate in my mind sitting by myself. As I said, I was on a bench, looking so lovely, and then having a pity party. And then when I went to unpack it with my psychologist, then it made sense why then I was in the space that I was in. So I am saying that, we cannot pretend that we are perfect or life is perfect. There is dynamics. Right now, the roof can fall over me. I can't say I'm a psychologist, I know how to deal with trauma. No, I have to go and process the trauma with somebody else where I'm thinking, maybe I'm blaming myself for asking these people to put in the roof, and maybe my husband wanted us to use these other people and I'm blaming myself. That self-blame, that guilt, that forgiveness, I have to work through it. So it will not make sense for me not to go to a psychologist, because then you will have a psychologist with their burdens. And then by the time you come and I'm like, yo, let me tell you what happened to me. If you think what happened to you was severe, let me tell you what happened to me. And now whose session is it gonna be? It's now you are paying me, but it's my session. And that's not healthy. So yes.
Yeah, I like it. And then Portia, you had a question. I don't know if you still want to ask. Portia?
Yeah, yes. Good evening, everyone. My question is based on Cesara, the one that was talking about different types of savings and investment. To say, as people, we don't likely to, and it's very likely for us to understand the different products that we have within us. But as with my little knowledge that I have is that, with clients, they differ from one person to the other. And again, the jargon that is within our contracts, sure, it's like, I don't know what Greek are they writing there. It's kind of difficult. And people that we meet along the way, for us, for them to give us an advice that is appropriate, they're very minimal, especially in our African society. They're very minimal, because sometimes you might run to, sorry to say, to other groups of cultures to say, white people are better than us, as so I don't know, in that regard, I find it very, very difficult to say, the language that they write within the contracts can be simpler. The how they explain it to us, the financial coaches or the financial to say, able to explain it to us, because sometimes when we went to COVID, everything just went blank. People did not understand their contracts. People did not understand what they took within, whether it was, I don't know, I'm still a bit confused.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I think we obviously just get a gist of it. I think, Sis, maybe if you can take that one with regards now to going forward, right? Because of course we're going to meet people that won't explain things to us. They will just sell us things. Again, how do one equip themselves to then get to that position that those things don't become a problem, especially if now we also have to read the contracts, because maybe Gavin English tololo, right? How does now Gavin manage to navigate through that contract without Gavin not necessarily understanding the jargon that we find in these contracts?
Gavin, it's not just about Gavin not knowing English or being a contractor somewhere. We have to take into consideration that jargon is jargon, and like I said, I'm gonna repeat again. You've got people like us at your disposal, and I'll unpack this statement because I mentioned it earlier. Meeting up with your financial advisor or financial planner or financial broker to give you advice, and you find yourself believing them without having to make more research, is very dangerous, because remember now, this person is selling for profit, and not all financial advisors want to give you products that will benefit you. Some of them give you products that will benefit them now in terms of finances, more than they benefit you in the long run. You might find yourself paying towards financial products that are all wrong. You pay towards a financial product for maybe more than 10 years. When you go inside a branch to check what does it really entail, you'd find that you have wrong names on, and it's serving a different purpose. Compared to what you want to do. So you've got people like us at your disposal. I'm a financial coach. I don't sell any financial products. Therefore, I have no reason to lie to you. I've got no reason to lie to you regarding those financial products, and I'm not gonna lose out on the commission. That financial product, that financial advisor will be getting from you. So you coaches, financial coaches will give you clarity, will clarify you, will unpack everything, and invest in financial coaches that were in the insurance industry to ensure that they understand the lingo. More like me, not that I'm selling myself or anything like that. I didn't mention at the beginning that I worked for the insurance industry as a financial advisor for 10 years.
Yeah.
And you won't believe that during the 10 years, I had to fix the mistakes of the people, the other financial advisors did. So it is crucial to invest in financial coaches. You invest in a financial coach, not because you are heavily indebted, not because you are under debt review or anything like that, but because you want to plant your money in good investments, in profitable investments. You want to understand the financial products better. You want to ensure that you invest in good investment vehicles.
Absolutely.
I don't know if
that, I love that. I love that. Invest, plant, let's plant. Sazenkateko, obviously we're out of time. If maybe you can just finish, as I had to disturb you there, but if you can just finish that last part with regards to what you were saying there, it will be highly appreciated. Sazenkateko?
Yes, it was not, well, okay, I wanted to say it was not much, but it was. So, but I think maybe based on the example that I made earlier on, to say for me, I wondered about how, the difference between people who are able to cope with circumstances and those who are unable to cope. I think, the first one is to just have regular check-ins with yourself, with other people, be in a supportive environment. Actually, I will post it now. I did a video on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, on supportive relationships. So I will just post the link now as we are getting finished. And also, I think we cannot take out spirituality out of this. And, it links us to the higher purpose and a higher power. It says to us that in the midst of things that we are unable to control, there is a supreme power, which is God, who is able to control things. And we sometimes don't need to be anxious. Philippians, I think it's 4, it says, be anxious of nothing, but in everything, in supplication and thanksgiving, give it all unto the Lord. So it's dividing what is in your control and what is not in your control. Where you feel paralyzed, what are some of the ways in which, I can be on a wheelchair and then start to move, even though maybe my legs are unable to move, and what are those things looking like?
Absolutely. Anchoring. I love that. Anchoring. So let us show you then, Osman Pierlo, just in terms of now, I'm here. I need to develop myself. Just again, maybe give us another, maybe 1 or 2 the things that one, can do practically from today. What should one do, to be able to get themselves up? Because again, we don't want to be stagnant. We want to grow. So how do we grow ourselves to that point where we can enter those executive levels, enter those managerial levels, enter those business levels where they put us in a higher space? What do we need to do? Oh, you're muted. Yeah.
I'm muted there. Yes, Gavin, for me, it starts with your internal talk. Change the internal talk that you're having with yourself. If it's negative thoughts, if it's thoughts where you always beat yourself up for past mistakes, you need to get rid of all those negative self-talk. Start changing the conversation that you are having within yourself. Very, very critical for you to have a good platform to start on. And then change the talk that you're having into positive. Start affirming things that you want to see. Those are the simple things that you can do before you invest in having a personal coach that will sit with you. If you say you can't afford one at the moment, and you're looking at certain elements where you want to divert your energies to, then self-talk is very critical, because the coach, then again, Gavin, is there to talk with you. The coach is there to reflect to you what you are saying. The coach is there to help you set your goals and align yourself towards your goals, towards the goals that you are setting. But if you don't have that right now, I say change the inner talk and affirm yourself. Look yourself in the mirror and start affirming the positives that you want to see. And very soon you'll be walking the journey that you want to. And very soon you will also invest in having an accountability partner, a sounding board, which is one that you find in coaching. And you'll soon invest much more in yourself. And that's how you get to being that executive. That's how you ever get to being that executive, is to find the right tools and the right people to support you in your journey. You can't walk that journey alone. Get your mentor, get your coach, get the people in place to help you grow to what you want, towards what you want to achieve.
Absolutely. I loved it. I loved it. So at the end of the day, it's all about you. You need to be able to get yourself going there. So guys, we are out of time. And again, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody for joining this evening, and to our lovely ladies that has really given us an insight there. So those who are asking about the recording, it's going to be on the YouTube channel, but I'll share all of that so that you can go to my YouTube channel, Gav Talks Property and Finances, and then it will be there so that you can go through it a couple of times. Now, I'm going to just give, obviously, a minute to our guests, just to be able to give us insight in terms of how do we find them with regards to their services. After all, you know, they are professionals and they do this for a living. So if you can, please make sure that you are investing in yourself. You know, we're investing in so many things, guys, that are not leading us anywhere. You know, I buy takeaways. Yeah, that money should be going to coaches. So make sure that you are doing. Osinkateko, quick one. How do people get hold of you? Where are you? And yeah, give them their details so that they can be able to hook you up.
I see Hloni saying she has already sent a friend request. Maybe it's to you, Gavin, but you can also send, you can also like and follow our page. That's also one way of supporting us in the absence of you being able to come and utilize our services. Maybe you think it's expensive. You can get free resources. We've got free monthly support groups every month without fail. We discuss issues of mental health. So meaning that you don't have an excuse. When you have subscribed, you get notification when our new videos get uploaded, and that happens every week on Mondays. So that is the free services that I'm talking about, the support group and the psycho education on all our social media platforms. You find us at Pretoria Psychologist on Facebook, on YouTube, and also on Instagram. And then I have also typed out our website on www.pretoriapsychologists.co.za. If it does not have this logo, then you know it's a Hong Kong, it's a fake. There are many Pretoria psychologists, but there is only one Pretoria psychologist with this logo. That's where you will find us. You can give us a call, you can send us a SMS or even a WhatsApp on 082-749-7320. I will just leave those numbers in the chat. And thank you very much, Gavin, for giving us this platform. And by the way, as you know, and I will be talking more, I use now hand in hand in my therapy, your book as well, to give to clients because I realize that some of the issues that we are struggling with, you know, like your anxiety and depression, it's based on mental health and then sorry, on finances. You know, I sold out twice your book, so I need more stock. So I will really appreciate if you can hook me up there. And thank you for what you are doing, and also those who are here to listen. You are truly interested in investing in yourself, and I wish you growth and success to everyone.
Thank you so much, Nkateko. Truly appreciate that. Oswile, how do people get hold of you?
Okay, I just shared my email address on the chat box and my contact details, which is info@bsmfinancialsolutions.co.za 078-936-7791. I'm also on WhatsApp. And yeah, just before I go, I just want to encourage people to talk about money. Talk about money, because most of us are starting our wealth now. We didn't have the privilege of having investments and wealth from the previous generation. So we have to fight with everything to make things right. And to the married couples, address money. That's all I can say. Yeah.
Money. Hey, but
all right.
Wonderful. Osmapielo, how do people get hold of you?
All right. I think I'm on mute. Let me just.
No, we can hear
I'm
you.
not on mute.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. So you can access me. You can access my LinkedIn profile. I've shared my link in the WhatsApp group, and I've shared my link with the group with everyone that probably isn't in the WhatsApp group. And then you can reach me via WhatsApp on 078-718-4722, which I've also shared in the chat, and also my personal Gmail account, which is mapialo.low@gmail.com. So those are the platforms you can reach me on. Please do connect. If you have questions and you want to know more about coaching, do connect, and I'm there to assist.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful. Yes, guys, we came to the end of our session tonight, and I just want to say again, thank you so much to the ladies for availing themselves. As soon as I said, please, can you be on the platform? They said yes. They didn't even hesitate. So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, and on behalf of everybody, we truly appreciate your time. We truly appreciate the passion that you have for what you guys doing, and may you keep on growing abundantly in everything that you do. So, and to everybody that has joined tonight, thank you so much. And to the family, thank you for being part of this, which is absolutely incredible that everybody have come in numbers. I truly appreciate it. And just obviously to encourage you guys with regards to that accountability program, please make sure that you are really participating on that accountability program. Make sure that you contact your accountability buddy each and every day. I realized today that I actually I had a phobia of being led, which is a problem. Now to be accountable to somebody, it has been very difficult, but it's really helping me, right? It's really helping me because I realized that you cannot lead everywhere. You need to be a follower as well. So you need to be under somebody, which is what life is all about. So let us make sure that we really run with that and utilize what we've been given for the month of February when it comes to our wellness month, which is fantastic. And then of course, again, as I said, I'm going to share the video on my YouTube channel, but I will then communicate with everybody when it's up. And I think the other thing, guys, with regards to the book, we are running what we call a gratitude edition. So we are printing the next print, which is going to be next week or sometime this week. Actually, let's say next week. We are looking for 5 people that are doing amazing things in their community. So we want to feature them in the book, right? So if you know anybody that is doing amazing things in their community, and we want to definitely honor them by them putting them in the book. So we want to feature them in the book. We're going to give them the full page. We're going to write up in terms of what they do. There's going to be some pictures there. There's going to be some contact details. So of course, the book gets shared, especially this one. It gets shared a lot. So, people, we're going to see that, and maybe they want to then contribute towards the program as well, whatever that person is doing. So please give us the 5. We're looking for 5 people that are doing amazing things in that community. So if you know that, please reach out to me. My number is 074 412 7614, 074 412 7614, or you can send me an email on info@gavshaw.co.za. So info@gavshaw.co.za. And then of course you can reach out to my Facebook page, Gavin Mkabela. I am there, just find me somewhere. I'm somewhere there. You can find me and be able to reach out. Guys, we need to be able to help one another. We need to be able to empower one another. So please, I'm begging, to say, if you know anybody that needs that recognition because they're doing amazing things in our community and they need to be highlighted, that's what we want to do. And of course, the book will be available from next week. It currently sold out, but you can still order your copy and it will be able to come through you. So so in that note, guys, this is just a taste, right, of what's going to be coming with regards to our financial road trips, our financial hikes. Hey, we're going to have amazing things. So I hope that you are ready for that. So on that note, Gavin Mkabela, signing out, guys. May you have a super and incredible evening ahead. And again, thank you so much for being part of this amazing session. And to my guests and the speakers, thank you again from the bottom of my heart. May God bless you abundantly in everything that you're doing. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.